Hello children, in today's session we are going to start with a new lesson, what if it finishes. In a brief introduction in the previous session, we saw that in this lesson we are looking at resources, petroleum products particular description in lesson. So we saw that there are two types of resources, renewable resources as well as non-renewable resources. Like renewable resources we get it never ends. When solar energy, wind energy, we know those things will never end. So, we keep getting it back. So, resources renewable resources. There are resources which does not get replenished at the rate at which we consume. Namala edukkanayinte athra fast aayittu namukadu thirichu kittaatha resources neyana namala non renewable resources ennu parayunnathu. Petroleum products are all examples of non renewable resources. So, petroleum products are non renewable resources. So let us look at the lesson, what if it finishes. A bus journey. Today we are going on a school trip to the Adlaj Stepwell, about 18 kilometers from Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is in the state of Gujarat. So in the map, I hope you will be able to spot Gujarat evideyana, Ahmedabad evideyana ennallathu ningalku identify cheyan pattumennu vicharikkunnu. Otherwise, make sure that you find Ahmedabad in the map of Gujarat. So we began counting the vehicles on the road. Some of us counted the bicycles, others counted the buses, cars and motorcycles. Abraham, who was counting bicycles, soon got bored. There were hardly any bicycles on the highway. Screech, the driver suddenly braked at the red light. It was a big crossing and we could see the traffic lined up on all sides. So you too might have experienced about the traffic jams signal, and you can imagine how worse it will be when it is in cities. Cities traffic jam assume in a small place like our Palakkad itself, when you stop at a traffic signal, in matter of seconds we can see so many vehicles being lined up. Okay? So we could see the traffic lined up on all sides. Honk honk, sound loud horns and smoke coming out of the vehicles. Maybe that is why a little boy in a rickshaw was coughing so much. We know it causes pollution. Like smoke coming out of vehicles causes pollution. Then loud sounds causes noise pollution. So air pollution കാരണം breathing difficulties difficulties facing. So that is what is mentioned here. A boy was coughing very badly in a rickshaw. I smelled something familiar. I remembered the smell. It came from Baba's tractor in the village. Look at the picture on page 10 and right. What are the different kinds of vehicles that you see? You can just look at the picture and write what all things you can see. What do you think? What do you think they need petrol and diesel as fuel? So you have to name the vehicles that use petrol as fuel and diesel as fuel. Which of these vehicles do you think give off smoke? Put a red mark on those. You might have seen vehicles that give out smoke when it goes on the road. So just write the name of vehicles or just on the picture mark vehicles that give out smoke. Which are the vehicles that run without petrol and diesel? What problems do we face from your own answers before we discuss them in the next session. Do you ride a bicycle? If yes, where all do you go on it? How do you come to school? How do your family members go to work from home? What problems can we have from smoke coming out of vehicles? It causes breathing problems ഉണ്ടാക്കും അല്ലെ ആസ്മ പോലെയുള്ള patients smoke causes difficulty. What kind of problems can we face from noise of vehicles? We know when we are exposed to loud sound for a longer period of time, it can even cause deafness. On the petrol pump. After some time, our bus stopped at a petrol pump. There was a long queue. It seemed as if we would have a long wait. We all got down from the bus and started looking around the petrol pump. We saw many large boards and posters. Petrol and diesel will not last forever. Save it for your children. Make every drop go a long way. Switch off the engine when you stop the car. Date 13/7/2017. The rate petrol in the rate is 64.91 and diesel cost 54 rupees 70 paise. So find out the current petrol and diesel prices, and I'm sure most of you would have visited a petrol pump. We could not understand what it was why it was written that petrol and diesel will not last forever. We know petrol and diesel are fossil fuels. Fossils എന്താണെന്നറിയാം, fossil fuels എന്താണെന്നറിയാം. So it takes years, thousands of years for these petroleum products to be അവിടെ ഉണ്ടാവാൻ it takes thousands of years. So of course it will come to an end. We thought of asking an uncle who works at the petrol pump. Abraham, uncle, from where do we get petrol and diesel? Uncle, who works at the petrol pump? From deep down under the ground. But how does it get made there? It is formed naturally but very slowly. It is not made by a human being or a machine. Abraham, then we don't need to buy it. We can take it out ourselves using a borewell, like we pump out water. Uncle, it is not found everywhere, but only at a few places in our country. We need big machines to pump it out and clean it. So, crude oil, I'm sure that you might have heard of the term crude oil. Like crude oil term crude oil petrol, diesel, petroleum products filter ചെയ്തെടുക്കുന്നത്. So അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് that is why it is called crude oil. Which states of India have oil fields? Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra are some of the states in India that have oil fields. Besides oil, what else is found deep inside the earth? Different types of minerals like coal, gold, diamond, all these things are found inside the earth. Find out the traffic rules and discuss them in class. When you walk on the road, we usually ride on the right hand side of the road, while vehicles on the road should keep left. Then a red light they should stop at a red light. Zebra crossing they should wait at the zebra crossing till all the pedestrians cross the road. These are some of the traffic rules that should be. Then while overtaking, vehicles should always overtake through the right. It should not overtake through the left. These are some of the traffic rules that should be followed. We should use petrol and diesel judiciously. Think why. As already mentioned, it takes years and years for petrol and diesel to be formed. Fossil fuels replenished it takes thousands of years. So, it is advisable to use it judiciously. Is petrol going to finish? The poster said that petrol is not going to last forever. So it does not get made as fast as we take it out. It takes lakhs of years for it to be formed under the earth. How will vehicles run if oil finishes on CNG? CNG is compressed natural gas. It had seen on TV that vehicles which run on CNG is less smoke. CNG vehicles and the electrical vehicles and the LPG vehicles and the so these are other modes of different types of vehicles. So not all vehicles run on diesel and petrol. These days there are other methods to vehicles in it, fueling and other methods. That too comes from below the earth. It is also limited. CNG comes from below the earth, but not electrical vehicles in the electric power does not come from under the ground. So electricity can be used to run vehicles. I have seen an electric bicycle. We will have to do something, or else how will we travel when we grow up? My dadi would be happy if fewer vehicles run on the road, she says. Look, vehicles line up like ants. What will you do when you grow up? See, only one or two people are sitting in these cars. Why doesn't everyone use a bus? That will save petrol. One bus can carry many people. When I grow up, I will invent a car that runs on sunlight. Then we don't have to worry about it getting finished. We can use it as much as we want. So we have already discussed about solar energy in one of the earlier classes. So we are discussing about how to run vehicles if we run out of petrol. Then there is a mention about a grandmother being happy when there are fewer vehicles, because the vehicles on the road causes different types of pollution. And people walking on the road find it very difficult when there are many vehicles. When there are a lot of vehicles on the road, it can cause accidents, then noise pollution, air pollution. All these things, as the number of vehicles increases, the smoke coming out increases, which causes air pollution. People keeping on honking increases, that increases. Honky and loud horn that is honking. So that causes sound pollution. Then as the vehicles are more, people trying to സ്പീഡായിട്ട് ഇതിൽ കൂടെ ട്രാവൽ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാരെ ഓവർടേക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാരുടെ നമ്പർ ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യും. ദാറ്റ് might cause more accidents on the road. People following rules become less, that increases accidents. So pressure from the earth. It is not easy to find out where oil is deep down below the earth. Scientists use special techniques and machines to find this out. Then through pipes and machines, petroleum is pumped out. This oil is a smelly, thick, dark colored liquid. It contains many things mixed in it. To clean and separate these, it is sent to a refinery. Have you heard of refineries? Oil refineries ne pattittu kettittundavum alle? That is where it is separated. ഈ എല്ലാ പ്രോഡക്ട്സിനെയും കൂടിയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ജനറൽ ടേം യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് പെട്രോളിയം പ്രോഡക്ട്സ്. Then it is separated into diesel, petrol, അങ്ങനെ ഡിഫറെന്റ് പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് ആയിട്ട് പെട്രോളിയം ജെല്ലി കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും അല്ലേ? ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഓൾ സെപ്പറേറ്റഡ് ഫ്രം petroleum എന്നാണ്. It is from this petroleum or oil that we get kerosene, diesel, petrol, engine oil and fuel for aircrafts. Do you know that LPG, wax, coal tar and grease are also obtained from it? So petroleum products നമുക്ക് എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് കിട്ടുന്നത്? We get kerosene, diesel, petrol, engine oil, aircraftiനുള്ള fuel, then LPG, wax, coal tar, grease. All these things come from petroleum products. It is also used in making several other things like plastic things. So please go through the lesson, children. In case if you have any doubts, please do post it in the screen. With that, I'll stop my today's session, children. Thank you and take care.